Welcome. This is all minus one quick shots. Folks, today I want to talk to you about being on the path in spiritual warfare. Now, I bring this up because many of us try to walk the faithful path that Christ led before us, or we strive to attain some sort of perfection in that throughout our lives. We improve as we go on, as we age, right? But there are many times that we have setbacks. There are many times that things come up, and you will find often that those setbacks and those things that come up are when you are at your highest point in your journey. Now, let me tell you some personal things, nothing that deeply personal, but just stuff going on with me. So I've had a broken garbage disposal for a while that I need to fix. Some glass got in there, burned out the motor. In any case, haven't gotten to it. The other week, my dishwasher started leaking. So I either have to find money to get someone to come in and repair that or figure it out on my own. And that takes time. My car. I went down to Florida. I came back. My car was dead. I just got a new alternator last year. I had the battery recharged and put in the car, ran for a little bit, and then it died again. And so I have to get my car towed or down to the dealership somehow, or not the dealership, but the mechanic I use, and have them basically put in a new alternator, which that one's not even a year old yet, so it's still under warranty, or figure out whatever is going on with my vehicle. I have, of course, house projects my wife wants me to do, and I have, a baby coming along on the way. So lots of things in my life, plus I'm trying to do this, trying to book folks for my show, right? The ends justify the memes. Links in the description, by the way. Why am I telling you this? I mean, I'm not asking you to pity me or anything. These are just normal life problems as part of being a homeowner. Speaking of which, I need to replace the handles and the locks on my doors because they're getting a little funky. So it's getting difficult to open the doors. So I need to toy with that. There's just always stuff in the way. There is life, right? And often what you'll find is when you start being on the path, when you start walking more righteously, that things will come up to distract you, things that will annoy you, things that seem overwhelming. Last week, I had to spend a significant amount of time last Monday in the vehicle. I couldn't make any content that day. And then the entire week afterwards, I barely slept. And so I just was like, I'm going to do quick shots. And I think last Thursday, I tried to record some storytime segments, and it just was not good. And I was like, okay, I'll come back to it next week. And then this week, right after we did our Friday stream, my mic stand broke. So again, things come up, and you can be very, very frustrated because of it. But I would say this: take the words of Christ on the Sermon on the Mount, right? In the Beatitudes, the very beginning. He talks about when people persecute and revile you for his name's sake, that you are blessed. And when these things happen, for me, most people aren't going to get underneath my skin. So when these things happen, these are the things that pile up, the things that need to be done, that take time away from the other things that I wish to do, my personal spiritual pursuits, my personal relationships. Having this conversation right now with you all, those things are distracting me from that, right? I have things I must do, obligations. And that is another way that the evil one tries to get us down. There will be distractions and things in your life, things that come up, and you will get downtrodden because it seems like such a burden on your shoulders. But I can promise you, folks, if you just keep moving on, those problems will go away. Now, we do live in the world, so there will always be trouble in the world. There will always be trouble, and problems will always occur. But I think for a lot of folks, they feel like that once they get in the faith, it's supposed to be easy coasting. And let me tell you this, that is completely incorrect. It should actually get harder for you. But it should be a labor of love. It should be a joy in your life. And part of this conversation that I'm having with you, part of me getting on here, exposing myself to the interweb world, whatever, in this little tiny channel that I have currently, is a compulsion and something that I believe that God wants me to do, right? And so I'm following that path, and yet everything, all these things are happening. I have stuff I need to take care of. And so it's hard for me to do as much content and the stuff that I want to do on the regular basis. I have friends and family I need to see. This Easter Sunday, folks, I did not go to church. Now, I don't normally typically have church meetings in a building right now because of the coof and whatever else. We have a service or a Bible study or whatever with my family, with my parents. Usually on Sundays, my wife and daughter go over there, have a Bible study, and then we eat dinner. And that's all that you need, folks. 2 or 3 gathered in his name, and he will be there amongst you. That's a family. You don't necessarily need to go to another building, although you should not forsake the assembly and the ecclesia, if possible. In ancient times, when folks were sick, parishioners would come around and visit them. They would come and give them communion or do whatever it was to see why they weren't in church that day. We don't have that much anymore. In any case, though, I could not go and partake in communion or do anything else because Sunday morning I was not feeling well. My stomach was in pretty rough shape. And this is what I'm talking about. Like, I could be mad. I could kick myself. Oh, man, I didn't make it to Easter Sunday service. I didn't honor the Lord. Okay. I don't think God cares in the grand scheme of things if I missed an Easter service, right? What is more important? That I continue to strive and walk this path. That I continue forward despite every obstacle in my way. And I can only do that because of his ability in me, because of his spirit, his attitude of perfection and pushing forward and moving forward and carrying on. Christ said that his burden was light. His yoke was light and easy. And he says you have to pick up your cross and carry it, foreshadowing what happened to him on his road to the crucifixion, right? To Calvary. He dropped the cross and a man had to help him out. This is how it works, folks. And this is what we should be thinking of in our communities. Locally, we should be, as much as possible, immersed with people that are willing to help us out back and can help us with these things. So I have these issues. I have all these things I have to fix around the house. I have, of course, this car problem. No, don't get me wrong. We have another vehicle. And everything's still kind of funky with the coof. So the wife and I are both home. It's not like I need a second vehicle, but hey, I would like it. I would like to have that. And again, these things can be a burden upon people, and they can start to go, hey, am I doing the right thing? Why is God cursing me? Why is this going on? Blah, 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 blah. It's not what's going on, brother. God has not cursed you. You've been picked out. You've been singled out because you are there doing something that is for the greater glory of the Lord. And with that, the forces of evil, the princes and principalities of the air, they don't like that. It has to stop. And this is how it goes. Remember the book of Job, right? Where Job had basically just ridiculous things happen to him. His entire family were killed. They died. Lost most of his land and his flocks and everything else. But God restored it in the end because Job was patient. Job continued through the storm. And I just wanted to explain to you guys, like in my ramblings here, that you are going to run into things when you think that you are, up here. You think that you're doing really well. Everything seems to be going right. 1,000 things will go wrong. And if you have the wrong spirit, the wrong attitude, the wrong mindset, you will see it that way and you will let it tear you down. And that's not to say that you should avoid these things either. Some of these things, like I said, my garbage disposal, it's been a long time. I find that a luxury, though. It's not a big deal. It's more of a wish that my wife wants because, I don't know, throwing stuff in the trash is difficult compared to the garbage disposal. I don't know. In any case, love you, honey. But, look, I'm not necessarily putting these things off. like trying to ignore them. It's just that I have other stuff I need to do. I have other priorities. I have other thoughts. I have other projects and plans. And again, sometimes those things have to be put on a hold as well so that you can do the other things. And in part, the reason why I thought about this and wanted to talk about this is because I talked to Brother Augustine last night. That is Michael Witkoff on our show, The Ends Justify the Memes. And we should try, already talking to him, should get him on within a month, probably by the end of the month. But we're striving for that right now. So, and hopefully he will be on longer. But so there was that. I have an eye appointment here in a little bit, so I'm not going to be able to record after I get done with this because I've had a really bad, my right eye's like, I don't see well out of it. It's not good. And of course, I would like to be able to shoot well as well, and that doesn't help. And I'm one of those weird folks who is right-handed and left eye dominant, so that makes it even worse. And when you can't see well out of the one eye and your other eye wants to take over, it makes it very hard to get your sight alignment. In any case, that is a whole nother issue, whole nother topic. But I bring all this up because I'm trying to apologize to you now for not doing what I set out to do as far as content last week and this week, guys. Just unable to do that. But it's because I had these burdens and these things going on. And it doesn't mean I won't get back to it. It's just something that is an inconvenience at the moment. And we could talk about, like, say, someone like Paul the Apostle. Go read 2 Corinthians, where he begins to chide others about these other apostles that come around who weren't necessarily teaching properly. And Paul goes on about all of the things that he had to suffer and bear over time, including shipwrecks and beatings and whatever else. Like, most of you in the faith, most of you that would consider yourself a Christian out there today, are quite weak. And I'm not saying I'm the strongest either. I'm just saying that you are very, very weak. You will give up your faith quite quickly, and you become frustrated more easily than you should be. Know that God has your back. Know that things will be all right, and know that in the end, no matter how horrible this life is, that you have an eternal reward coming. So that's pretty much it, guys. I just wanted to talk about that because things happen, right? And here I wanted to do some more recordings today. Just not going to happen for me. And probably not this week. Hopefully next week we'll get back on schedule, or a new schedule that I make. I want to get out a lot of material. I'm pushing toward about 200 videos now. So I think that's what's in my library, something like that. Been doing this for not even a year yet. It'll be a year in late June, I believe. So, you know, regardless of the size of the channel, I just want to get content out. I came across some old content last night and I was like, man, it wasn't the best. But I feel like I have good days and bad days. I feel like I have good videos and bad videos. I don't care. I'm just doing it because, again, I'm compelled to do it. And I'm not worried about the judgment of the world so much. Anyways, guys, keep pushing, keep striving, and realize when you are just coming up against the wall, you have 1,000,001 things that seem to be going wrong. Realize that you're probably doing something right. Something in your life is probably going right spiritually, or there would not be those barriers there. But that's all I have for today, guys. This has been All Minus One Quick Shots, and I wish you all well.